I don't know which ends up these days right now. So
with Rock Rose and everything.
yeah.
Were you an Ozzy Osbourne fan?
Between it and Hereford right now, I'll tell you what, we're crazy busy.
Yeah, Hereford is booming.
Yeah.
Are they happy they did that?
I hope so. They ought to be. Their whole city should be, from economic impact and everything there.
Yeah. That's got to be
I don't
huge.
want to say this on the air, but we did 3 weekends, 10 days, 3, 3, and 4. Gate and concessions, we took in $105,000, netted 60 of that.
Wow.
And walking through that lets us know what our potential is out here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be big, isn't it?
Mm. Everything we're doing over there is
hire
we'll hire severals.
I'm just saying, like an event director almost out there
they'll be
to be full time.
There will be. I mean, we'll be renting facility. There'll be people wanting to rent fields every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
So everything we're doing in Hereford's been a great walkthrough
for what can happen
on
here.
a bigger scale. Yeah, big time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Ozzy. I saw that yesterday. He was a trendsetter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got refamous on the the reality show.
The Osbournes.
That's where we found out how.
Yeah. And his wife is a pretty classy lady, seems to be.
Yeah. She's in charge of everything.
Oh, yeah. She wears the pants.
But I will say this: Ozzy was a harmless human being. That was all a show. You know what I mean? It was pretty funny.
He to me is the stereotypical. Did the drugs, did the whole 9 yards, and then you can see what effect it had on him. But low key,
step into the Fieldhouse,
real laid back,
row seats, a legendary victory,
shy almost.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm your host Lance Lunner, breaking down sports from the inside out, along with co-host Jimmy Lackey. It's more than just a game.
Ready, Maddie?
It's the Fieldhouse Podcast.
Hey, welcome into the Fieldhouse Podcast. We're a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network. I'm one of your hosts, Lance Lunner. We have our other host here, Jimmy Lackey. Jimmy, got to start it off. It's been a bit. How you been? How's the summer been? But what's the best thing? I'm not going to say today. We're going to change it up on you. What's the best thing that's happened to you in the last couple of weeks?
Oh, shoot. We had a great tournament up in Dumas for my dad. That's always fun to go back and –
that was one of my questions for you today.
Yeah, Lance, I don't like to talk a lot about me, but I'll talk about this event because there's so many people that are involved in it. But, when you go back to your hometown and all your buddies come in and people that you went to school with and then people that played for Dad, and that was a group of coaches, I did something different this year. And I had T-signs made for that group of coaches that I've always talked about. This was the 12th year we've had this golf tournament. We're almost at $200,000 in scholarships that we've given back, and we'll break that next year. But anyway, I've always told them, Coach Phipps, Coach Phillips, Coach Mallory, Coach Bannister, Coach Spann. I've talked about all of them, Coach Copeland. And so I had signs made for those coaches this year that said, in memory of Orville Copeland, Bill Spann, Leroy Bannister, and I went down the line. I had just put them off by themselves and said a group of coaches in a league of their own. And then before we teed off on the first day, I said anybody that played for one or more of those coaches, I want you to go stand behind the signs. And we had a picture made, and there's probably almost 20 of us in that picture.
That's awesome.
So that lets you know. That bunch that my dad coached with, and it's different in the 60s and 70s than it is today because, there's these big jobs and people go where the money is.
Yeah.
Your upward mobility opportunities are so much more prevalent than they were back in the day. And so, I saw a deal the other day where Frisco and Vega played in a 2A playoff game many years ago. Well, which high school now? Because Frisco's got like 10. And so things have changed a little bit. To go back and 2 days, full flight, 54 teams, 3 teams per hole, and just great evening. We feed them dinner, we feed them a good steak dinner, and just a lot of fun. It's it's a lot of work for me because it's a lot of anxiety getting ready for it.
Yeah.
And making sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, getting sponsors in so those scholarships do what they do, and then, put those entry fees back in for the players and make sure the players get their money's worth out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But when it's all said and done, I'm worn out. I played with a buddy of mine, came in from Houston, he and his wife, and Amy played with Kim, and Willie and I played. And I'm done with golf. I haven't played golf in 2 years. I hadn't played since
so we got to roll this back. Why you have a passion for golf? You hadn't played in 2 years, so you decided to tee it up in this thing.
Well, I played 2 years ago. Russell Gadboy and I played.
Yeah, that's
2 years
cool.
ago, and Russell came kicking and screaming because he doesn't really enjoy playing golf, but his dad and I talked, and I said, well, I'm going to call Russell and get him to play. And up to then, I hadn't played in a year or two, and so that was 2 years ago. I hadn't touched a club.
Yeah.
And Willie and Amy and Kim and I and Kennedy played in the Friday night scramble at Canyon Country Club Friday nights. First 9 holes I've played in 2 years. I hated it. I'm fighting it. I can't play golf like I used to, and I only know how to play golf one way, and that's well. And I can't play like that anymore. So it's not, and, bottom line, it's just not fun for me to go spend my time fighting a game that I'm not ever going to be good at again. And I'm not going to work at it. I'm not going to put in the time it takes to be good at golf.
Yeah.
I can go to the golf course and still have a lot of fun without playing golf.
Gotcha.
And so I made the decision after Friday night scramble. I really did. After the scramble Friday night before we went to Dumas, I thought, you know what? I got to play golf in college, and I've played a lot of golf recreationally and competitively over the years. My dad put a set of golf clubs on my bed when I was in second grade when he was running the pool out there. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to play these 2 rounds of golf on the course where I learned to play the game, and I'm hanging it up. and I mean that. I'm just
Pheasant Trails.
Pheasant Trails. It was called North Plains Country Club when we were growing up. It's kind of like Hunsley Hills Golf Course is Paldura Creek now. And when I grew up out there, it was a 9-hole course.
Yeah.
The city took it over. Now it's 18. It looked much better this year than it has in recent years. We've all had a lot of rain. God's helped a lot of the country clubs, and I helped. I had not met the new greenskeeper at Canyon Country Club, and I had Kim point him out to me because Kim plays and knows everybody out there, and I didn't even go out there anymore. And so we were out there Friday night, and I had her point out the greenskeeper to me, and I pulled him aside, and I said, I want to tell you something, Nathan. Kim and I have been members at Canyon Country Club since 1989. We were paying $55 a month back then. And I pulled him aside, and I said, I have not seen this golf course look this nice in at least 15 years. I mean, a couple of years ago, I thought we were going to lose the golf course.
Wow.
And same in Dumas.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Russell and I stepped up. We started on hole 1, and that whole green was dirt. And I'm not exaggerating. It was dirt. And I thought, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
A lot of improvement in Dumas, but I'm telling you right now, Canyon Country Club looks fantastic.
Is that because of the greenskeeper?
Greenskeeper's done a great job. And it's 18 inches of rain this year. I got another half-inch rain at the house last night. And so we're sitting at 19 inches for the year. Lance, you and I both know we don't get 19 inches of rain in a year ever. And so God's been good to us in the respect of the rain. Going to Dumas, and you see the Canadian rivers full.
Yeah.
And that means Lake Meredith's going up.
That's good
That's
news,
good for everybody around here.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Golf aside, I saw a lot of cool things this weekend. We ran back up to Dalhart.
So did you hit one good shot at least?
I don't think so. My friend Willie played pretty good Sunday. He played really, really well on 2 holes in a row. I was telling folks on number 9 and number 10. We started on 17, so we went 17, 18, then we went to the front 9. On 9 and 10, we didn't have to putt because anything inside the leather is good, and those are both par 4s. Willie hit them tight.
Wow.
2 holes in a row. We didn't have to putt. Our partner, our 2 groups playing with us, just knocked the ball back to us, said, great shot.
Wow.
You're doing
nice.
pretty good on par 4 back-to-back when you don't have to putt. So
that is.
Willie was hitting the ball well. For me to say I asked him after the first day, I said, did we take any of my shots? I mean, literally, I don't know if we took any of my shots.
Well, that's all for fun. So
it is. And
you may get the itch again.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Kim's already asked dibs on my clubs. She said, can I try your clubs? I said, do what you want with them. I'm not.
And she's hooked, right?
I'm not. She plays golf. I have no sadness whatsoever in me or no remorse, anything about giving this game up. And here's the silver lining in the deal, and maybe this sounds corny, but you know me, and so you know what I'm fixing to tell you is the truth. You go play golf, you're going to spend 4 or 5 hours at the golf course, for sure, coming and going and playing. You play 18 holes. I'd rather spend that time doing Kids Inc. stuff because that's not work to me. That's a passion. I get a chance to put my mind to something that is bigger than me.
Yeah.
Where golf is
That's
just
cool.
Golf's fleeting, and I can't play it like I used to.
Yeah.
Well, I think I can still do some good things for Kids Inc. that'd be a lot more productive than me going spending 4 or 5 hours on the golf course, and enjoy it much more. And you know, if that in some people's mind is sad that that's your focus, you know, you don't sit in my shoes. I've been here 30 years, and I love what I do. I love the people I work with, and we get the opportunity to make this organization what it can be without any limits. The sky's the limit. It's how big can you dream and what can you do. And so if my time's better used for those type of things, better in opportunities here in our community than it is for me to go waste my time fighting a game that I can't play anymore, so be it.
No, I like
End
that.
of story.
I like that a lot. That's sincere. And, you know, it's a crazy game and all that. But and one of my questions, since we're on the golf topic, was going to be for you. Scotty Scheffler wins the Open Championship, you know, and he's 29 now. He's made $90 million. But in the press conference coming up to the Open, he made a pretty bold statement saying, look, I dreamed all my life to win the Byron Nelson, you know what I mean, and down there, and I win it. And then 2 minutes later afterward, we're talking about going to eat just like another day, you know. And he says, so it's a very fleeting, you work all that time to get that joy for 2 minutes, he said, basically. So he said, my priority is my family, his faith in Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And not a lot of people enjoy that comment.
No, not at all.
Because he was grilled afterward about, now is this going to last more than 2 minutes? And he goes, well, they kept asking, how are you going to party, you know, and all that. What are you going to do? And he goes, I'm getting on a plane and going back home and enjoying this with the people I, you know, love. So it's a very unique superstar we have in Scotty Scheffler suddenly. Mm-hmm. And what's your thought on that?
Well, he fits in my world because he's, you know, the humility and just
he's not spectacular.
There's nothing fake about him.
Yo, that's true.
You get what you get with Scotty Scheffler.
I like that. There is nothing fake.
You know, I mean, the guy goes and sits in jail before the Masters and doesn't try to say, well, do you not know who I am?
Yeah,
he didn't play that
PGA,
card.
Yeah,
he didn't play that card.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he said, I got to tee off a little bit, guys.
Yeah,
but, he didn't pitch a fit about it, but just watching him be humble, and I'm going to tell you what's even more amazing about him to me than anything else. You know me, I'm a big Jack Nicklaus fan.
Right, yeah.
And Nicklaus was great, and he was great. Tiger Woods, probably even better.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward, but Lance, we've been around this game. The parity in golf, probably as much or more so than any other sport, is huge.
Huge.
I mean, any guy that steps on the course could go out and shoot 60 on any given day.
And it's never been like that
those guys
before.
at that level could shoot a 60
Agree.
with the right break here and there, because you got to have a couple, 3 breaks every now and then. But if you're on a roll, those guys could step out and shoot a 60 any day of the week. And for him to do what he's doing right now in that field of play,
that's a good point, man.
In that field of play is what amazes me. Nicklaus was better than everybody else. You know, his mental focus and his game was better than everybody else, because think about the technology that they used back in the day. They didn't have metal woods. They didn't have all this high-powered armory to go out there with. And every golfer on the planet that plays professionally has their clubs ground down to fit their game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And every piece of equipment they have is tailor-made for them, swing coaches and all these things. And he still just blowing the doors off everybody.
Yeah.
That's impressive with the amount of parity in that game.
No, that's well said.
That's what
so
blows
well
me
said.
away.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of his as well. He's not flashy. He'll put it in the middle of the fairway, then get on, and do his thing. But Jimmy, when he won this, he became the fourth. He is now fourth on the all-time PGA Tour money list. Tiger Woods is first at 120.
Rory's probably
Roy's second at 106. Phil's third at 96 million, and then it's Scotty Scheffler at 90.
He'll pass Phil pretty quick.
Yeah, he'll eventually pass them all. It's he's making $30 million a year. And I was just curious on the list. Where do you think Jack Nicklaus sits?
Oh my gosh, he's probably below He's probably below 300 now.
You're right. He's at 337.
Yeah, because of the prize purses and the sponsorships and the where golf is coming. Golf was popular with Nicklaus, but golf wasn't popular across the board.
Right. Yeah.
Arnie, popular. A few of them, Hogan, but the TV and everything that's associated with golf and the sponsorships and those communities that are drawing those big tournaments in. Korn Ferry Tour.
Yeah.
We've got an opportunity to make something big here to last that could have an economic impact on our region, and that's what those communities are doing that are getting those big PGA events. Is they're taking advantage of the economic impact opportunities, and those companies are investing in those tournaments, getting those people to come to town. They spend lots of money. And it pays off for everybody in the end.
Yeah.
It's a win-win deal. And
it is.
But that's what those golfers have done for the game. And when I go back to say those golfers, hundreds of them that could be Scotty Scheffler any given week. They can win any one of those guys could win a tournament on any given week. Yeah, that sets you up.
That's life-changing money if you just win one.
Sure, and so ask Ryan Palmer. My gosh.
He's 41st.
That's I was fixing to say.
On the list.
People are going, why is Ryan not? Well, my gosh, Ryan's almost 50 now.
Yeah.
He's been grinding, and he's played his tail end off. He's way up on the money list.
Yeah, he's 41st.
You just don't realize it because he doesn't win all the time.
He's made over $30 million in his career. So.
He's done okay in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's represented us well, too.
Yeah, he has. He really has. He's a class young man. He's not a young man anymore, but I will say this. I know it's eating him inside the way he's struggling because he's not making cuts anymore, but maybe that'll change once he gets on the senior, if he wants to even go there right away. I know how competitive he is.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily I know when you turn 50, it's the thing to do, but he's that competitive. He still hits the ball a long way. Maybe that'll revive his career a little bit, things like that. But, a couple of kids in high school, things like that changes everything now. So he's got his son's going to be a freshman in college. So everything changes perspective-wise. It's crazy.
It's funny. I got to play with a couple of my friends that we literally went from first grade all through school together. Our first day we played. So it was Don and Jamie, and we were all in the same class. And then Don's brother Scott and Kenneth Freeze, all from Dumas. And so we all grew up together. And, we get on these holes that we played all our lives, and we're remembering where we used to drive the ball to. And then now we're looking back. My son-in-law, Colton, is playing behind us, and he's hitting that ball up by the green on his drive, and we just got done hitting from 150 out, But I said, guys, think about this. We used to hit the ball to where Colton is hitting it now too, and they go, yeah, we did. And I go, and we did that with Persimmon Woods. He's back there with, supercharged, tailor-made, whatever their most recent is out, and he's not hitting it any farther than we did with a Persimmon Wood back then. So, guys, don't sell ourselves short just yet. It's just different.
Yeah, you always got to look forward. It's brutal.
And our club head, those club heads were about this big around. Now those drivers are this big around.
Massive,
so,
yeah. No, the technology, and it's made it a lot more enjoyable for your average golfer.
Yeah.
To put one out there every once in a while.
Sure.
What I mean? So,
well, yeah.
Hey, this is number 51. We have a tradition here on our podcast that we pick a player or a jersey number or somebody that impacted our lives or we were a big fan of, anything like that, a teammate we played with. But it's 51, Jimmy. And Mine was pretty obvious, really.
Well, I'm struggling here because I haven't thought about that.
Okay, that's all right. That's
I
all
think
right.
I'm right on
I'll
this
go
one.
first.
Hang on, let me write mine down. I'll tell you, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. We'll see.
This one was really
I hadn't forgot about
growing up in the we're older guys, so but the Dick Butkus.
That's who I just wrote down.
Yeah, number 51 for the Chicago
I was hoping
Bears.
he was 51.
Yeah, he dominated in the middle. He was allowed to clothesline you. He was just an absolute beast in the
nose was always tore up.
And it was Chicago, which made it even better. Chicago, Green Bay, in the cold and all that. But yeah, Dick Butkus. And then we learn
Zoom in on that, Matty, just so everybody knows. I put Dick Butkus down. 51.
Nice.
You don't have to really do that.
I will say this, though. We learned when he was in TV as well.
Yep. He was a good actor.
Yeah, and we learned how mellow he was, actually. Just a teddy bear of a guy, but you wouldn't have thought that. Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers played on the same team together. Can you imagine that?
Well, and here's the other cool thing, and you know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But when it was time for him to retire, guy took his place, played at Tech. Wasn't the biggest guy in the world, but Don Reeves, who's a member of our Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame, took his place. And Don's wife, Sammy, was my babysitter as a kid from Dumas. So, I remember that part too. But Butkus, man, he was a man amongst boys.
Yeah,
back in the day,
he was huge. Had that face mask that was larger than most.
Yep.
Yeah, had those eyes, just a typical linebacker.
And then you get Singletary to follow him not too long. After that.
Yeah.
And, man, they had a lot of similarities in the way they played that game.
Linebacker there. I mean, the Bears are famous for that.
Yeah.
Just their style of play.
Butkus.
Too,
man, I'm glad I was right on 51 because you caught me off guard. I forgot to think about
and Butkus, wasn't that the name of the dog in Rocky?
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, I saw something online, and it wasn't AI and fake. Sylvester Stallone, the turtles in that movie, these were his own pets that he used. Because, it was a budget movie. He still owns those turtles.
Well,
they're like 49 years old today. I'm not surprised.
If you take care of a turtle, they'll live a long time. They'll outlive us.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed him with the two turtles, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So, anyway, hey, I was just curious on this one. I've got a couple more here for you, and we got to talk Cowboys for a second. But so school starts the week of August 12th. Mm-hmm. Basically, Bushland, Canyon ISD, Amarillo ISD, anywhere between the 12th and the 14th. Is that too early?
It is if your air conditioning is not working.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at
here's what I don't get.
Why put 2 extra weeks of bills on your school districts with the heat of August?
So now you're going to get me on a soapbox about schools. And so here goes.
I'm just going Labor Day to Memorial Day.
That's exactly where I was fixing to go. My first day of first grade was my 7th birthday. I missed going to school by 2 days a year before because you had to be 6 by September 1st. I've told this story before. So I had to wait a year. Labor Day was on September 2nd. Tuesday, September 3rd, whatever year that was, my 7th birthday was my first day of first grade. So I was one of the older kids in my class. And we finished around 25th of May or so.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are my age and around my age over the course of my life. And I'm going to tell you, most of us did okay without going to school in the middle of August and going up to the 1st of June or into June. I don't understand it. Legislators, if you're out there listening, talk to the school people. Because a lot of decisions that are made about schools aren't being made by school people. And I'm getting on a soapbox here, but I've lived in a household with educators.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I live very close to one at my house. Explain to me why we can't wait till after the 1st of September for these kids. There's another piece to it too, but September to May is plenty. If you're looking for year-round schooling, maybe there's places that could offer that.
Yeah, private schools.
Private schools or provide some alternative for that. But here's the other part of it too. there's an economic side, in my opinion, for tourism in the state of Texas particularly. And tourism in the state of Texas is massive. And if you study it and look at the dollars involved with tourism and the opportunities that we have in this state to do things, those people rely on the opportunities for people to come in June, July, and August to visit their businesses. And so there's another economic side to it besides the educational aspect of it. But I just, plain and simple, I'm fixing to be 64 years old, and I think I did just fine going to school after Labor Day and finishing before Memorial Day.
Well, and my thought on that is just let kids be kids for about 3 months. Let them go have fun. But I think it's too early as well. Here's what they do now. They come up with a fall break that many schools now have a week fall break that we didn't have. Maybe a little extra time at Christmas. So,
but I
don't get it. But I'm with you. Let's get it back to that method, and quite honestly, like think of San Antonio, think of Houston, think of the astronomical bill for those 2 weeks added on to get the air conditioner.
So
keep this.
You brought it up, and I'm gonna speak to it because I didn't see this coming today, but I think this is a great conversation to have. Here's how those things affect our business. Fall break. And I'm just going to say it like it is. There are people that have the means to use that fall break to go on a mini trip or go do something fancy, but there's a whole lot more that don't.
Right.
And we get ridiculed if we play games on one of those weekends during our seasons because it's fall break or it's President's Weekend now in February. And we've got this big long break, and we've only got X number of days that we have access to gyms to use, and we've got to get our games in a certain amount of time, and we get chastised for playing games on those weekends. Well, here's my rebuttal to those that want to complain about that. Number one, Maddie's got all the dates posted when the season starts and when the season's going to end, and we're playing between these dates. So when you sign your kid up, we're going to play games on these days. If we're not going to play on those specific days, we'll let you know. Spring break, we don't play any games.
Right.
During Christmas break, we don't play games. But the rest of the year, there's a reason why we have to play our games is because we have a finite space from whether it be the school district on fields or school district on gymnasiums that we've got to get in and get out. And every time they add one of those breaks, that has a cause and effect relationship with us. And I'm just speaking selfishly about Kids Inc. and that deal. But I go back to, does a kid really need a full week off, in the fall and another full week? I like spring break. Spring break's I was in 4th grade the first time we ever got a spring break. I like the spring break. I think that's a good deal. I think
it's necessary. I agree.
But
fall break.
Spring break is that last, okay, let's get 2 more months in and we'll finish the school year.
Yeah, right.
And that's good for teachers. But I don't know if they're still doing it, but 3 weeks at Christmas break for some of these schools now. Yeah. And here's the other piece that I'm going to throw in there, and I hear this a lot from parents. What do I do with my kids? Both of us work, and now they're taking off for 3 weeks. I don't know, my kid. I got to go to work.
Yeah.
I can't take 3 weeks off at Christmas or 2 weeks off at Christmas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And they even struggle at spring break with that, and then they add all these fall breaks and these long weekends. Well, there's a lot of parents that have to work.
Yeah.
And so there's a big effect on that. And again, I don't know. I'm not in on those conversations, and the people making those decisions are probably way smarter than I'll ever be. But those are the things that we hear at Kids Inc. and the end cause and effect that it has on us. And we see it, we hear it, and sometimes we can work around it, and sometimes we just can't, depending on what the supply and demand of fields and gyms are.
So I don't think anybody should overreact. If you want to go on vacation,
sure,
for that October or for that fall break, go for it. But if you miss a game, the world doesn't stop just because you're on vacation. You know what I mean? You have to accept that. Mm-hmm. Plus, the schedule's already out there, so that's what I think is more than fair. Hey, Jimmy, they had Texas High School Coaches Association had their annual coaching school this week. And the UIL always gives like a State of the Union speech, things like that. But
new leadership.
Charles Breithaupt has retired, I should say. Hopefully, if he comes through Amarillo, we'll pop him on the show. He's been on my radio show. Great guy. But besides that, there were a couple of what happened is they went to Division I and Division II across the board last year.
Saw that.
Okay. So, but the results is this. There were 38 new state champions. Their schools had never been state champion in any sport. And now they have decided the one drawback, and we've kind of mentioned on this, I have personally, where the state semifinals were just a neutral site game. Mm-hmm. So you kind of lost the luster of making it to state, and the state semifinals, let's say, go down to San Antonio, especially basketball, and then you play that game there, and then you get to play another one in the Alamo Dome. Well, they're going to test something this year with volleyball, and that they have preset the state semifinal sites. They're not at the same place as the state championship site. Do you like what they're trying? Instead of you and I.
So let me make sure I'm understanding right.
Yes.
So state semis could be in Austin, state finals could be in San Antonio.
Okay, so they're still in state finals are in state. Well, the volleyball's in Garland.
Yeah.
State semis are now going to be at another set place. Previously, you and I are playing each other in the state semifinals. We just call each other up and say, here's the gym we're going at, just
gym.
Like a normal by-district or area playoff game.
Yeah.
That's what's different.
So here's my next question. How far apart is the state semi game from the finals?
Oh,
game?
yeah. That's
2 days?
I think it's 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do.
I look at the economics of it.
Yeah.
From a school district standpoint,
Yeah.
when school districts are struggling to keep budgets tight,
And parents.
and parents too, 100%.
Yeah.
Because parents are paying the tax bill on this
Yeah.
deal.
And they're paying the hotel bills for these.
One place, 2 days, 3 max, covers it all.
Yeah.
You spread it out that far, you're doubling up. You're doubling down on everybody. Travel to here and then travel to there for the school district. Travel to here, travel to there for the parents. Hotels for both groups. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And what was broken about the old system?
There was nothing broken about it, but the time frame when you have 2 divisions now to play semifinals and finals adds a day or 2 onto that.
Okay. If you had to spread those out and have Division I here and Division II here, I'm going to go back to what we were talking about with golf.
So you want them in different places?
Well, I'm just saying, here's an option. I would be willing to bet you money that there's communities in this state that would vie and bid for that stuff, for the opportunity to have the economic impact in their communities.
Yeah, for sure.
And put on a great show for those kids.
Yeah.
And, granted, and I'm just going to throw 2 names out, and these could be far off from – Randall may be playing over here, and West Baines may be playing over here, or Canyon or Emerald High and Tascosa may be playing in different places. But they're both in, and they're both going somewhere, and it's 2-3 days max.
Yeah.
I mean, the state basketball tournament was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, forever. It worked.
Yeah, I know.
And I understand you've got more teams, but you can't tell me in Dallas, Austin, San Antonio that there aren't enough venue spaces. I'm going to use the Metroplex alone, that those people could come up with building another one and have them right there.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And
I
pay for that economically in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
With the residual that they'll get from
and they already have the facilities in some of those
Sure
places.
They do.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, I it's sad that I want the state semifinals to be right where the finals are. That personally, this option to me is better than just a simple.
I agree with that.
Neutral site game, but it's not ideal. No. They decided
it's no different than the regionals were always preset.
Yeah, and there are no regional tournaments now anymore either. So So they're tweaking a little bit. They're lost right now. Let's face it. The UIL knew this would change, and this will continue to tweak. But the good news is you have 38 new state champs. In my opinion, that's awesome for those high schools. So
that part of it I like.
Oh, I don't like
the economics of it for the school district and the parent.
Yeah,
that has.
I don't like that you, especially basketball, for instance, that you have taken away the semifinals and finals. I don't like that.
How many
at all.
teams that got beat in the semis stayed and watched the finals?
And
a lot of them.
A lot of them. And you kind of made it your reward.
That was just a weekend. You got it this far. We're going to be there, win or lose. We're going to be there for the weekend.
We're going to reward you for all your hard work.
You bet.
You can stay in San Antonio and watch the game.
It sucks having to watch two teams play when you think you ought to be in there, but it sure beats the heck out of having to travel back after one game and not get anything else out of it.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Hey, also, the UIL's, the contract for Jerry's World for AT&T Stadium for the speaking of one site, football state championships ends this year. Do you think the UIL needs to pursue that and continue having all the state championship games at one place?
Yeah, that's until something's better. And in this state, it's about as central as you can get.
Yeah. They have had it at NRG, down in Houston.
Yep.
Didn't have quite the attendance they had in Dallas. They had a decline in attendance last year. I think it's going to happen every once in a while, but I'm with you. I think for a long time, as you well know, it was a neutral site game, state championship game, wherever. The two teams got together and picked it, just like a normal playoff game. When this started, I was like, the six-man, do they want to play on Wednesday in Jerry's World, with how big it is? Yeah, they do. It's a carrot for those fans, for those coaches, for those players to get to play where the Dallas Cowboys get to play. Who would want to do that? My gosh. And so I'm a big proponent of this. Knowing the world we live in today, I'm sure they're going to try to stick it to them a little bit more, unfortunately, for rent and things like that. Yeah. So the UIL will have to handle that, but I just hope and pray they get a contract worked out on that.
So I just pulled up my map, and I thought I might be right on this. So I pulled up the map. What they need to do, Jimmy Lackey's opinion, is go build a massive 2-gym facility in Brownwood, Texas, and expand Underwood's barbecue so that when everybody comes to town, we got all the place in the world to eat at Brownwood.
There you go.
That's dead middle of the state of Texas.
Is it really?
Dead middle.
Wow.
All corners. I was just sitting there going, Brownwood's got to be close to the center of town. It's dead center.
And just let Underwoods take it
over.
Oh,
yeah. It could be the Underwoods weekend.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Underwoods, man. How many people?
I'm old enough to remember when we had Underwoods here in Amarillo.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
On the boulevard, right there just outside of St. Anthony's.
Same group?
Oh, yeah. It was right there just due west of St. Anthony's Hospital on the boulevard.
Same Underwoods?
Same one.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was a big treat to come from Dooms to eat.
Yeah, I'll bet.
You bet it was.
I bet, yeah. Hey, before we hop out of here, I gotta ask you. Speaking of Jerry Jones, first the practice hasn't even started. As we're speaking of this, it's just started the first day. But he goes in on Micah Parsons in the contract, saying, "Well, he didn't play 6 games last year, which was 4. It was wrong. He didn't play 4 games last year because of injury, and then doubled down." And basically called out Dak, saying, look, we made him the highest paid player in the NFL, and he missed 6 games last year or whatever, you know what I mean? So what is going on? Why would that be in your opening statement for your 2020-25 Cowboys?
So here's I'm going to go ground up.
Okay.
I see parents put so much into these kiddos, and God love them, support that kid all day long.
Yeah.
But be realistic about your expectations. Your kiddo is one injury away from their world changing. You accentuate yourself up to this level. Bodies are older. I know a 26-year-old football player is still in their prime. They're still one injury away from their world being in a different path. I don't know what the average is anymore. It used to be 3-4 years for an NFL player.
Yeah, especially running backs.
Yeah, and so you skill players, they're going to take a beating, and the reality of you are betting your franchise on that player when you put them down as your, whether it be the franchise player or you put that multi-billion-dollar contract down on them, you're doing that thinking they're going to play 20 games a year, be at camp every time, on time, work out during the off season. They're going to do it all like they're supposed to. That's just not being realistic. They're one injury away. You get that nagging injury. One of those guys, Micah Parsons, or any other exceptional athlete, college. It doesn't matter if high school, college, or if they've got a nagging injury. Baron Morton, finally got his shoulder fixed. God love him. I hope he can make it through a season this year and have a good season.
Yeah.
Healthy wise.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
You don't.
And so it's those things that I'm a little more realistic about.
Wow. So you're okay with Jerry talking like this?
No. No, absolutely not. I don't think he's being realistic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't think he's being realistic in understanding that when he threw the money down, that's a gamble.
Yeah.
That's a gamble.
Yeah. I agree.
And by no means was I ever in an athlete class like that. But Lance, I got my right eye put out when I was 10 years old. The world changes.
Yeah.
I love to play football. I love pitching. Baseball was probably my favorite thing to get to do, is throwing a baseball and playing first base. I can't stand in a batter's box anymore. I don't have any depth perception.
Yeah.
And so things change. And that's what I mean by, and then on top of the fact, so many kids just get burned out.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. But a lot of them, once they get the big contract, shut it down a little bit.
They do.
I mean, they're trying not to get hurt.
Not only do they get the big contract from Jerry, but they get the big contract from every, sports medium out there in terms of advertisers. And
my thought is just let's bring some positivity to the team, and don't make it such a negative. And I will say this: I heard what Parsons said. I think he was very fair. He said, "Look, I want to be here. I like my teammates. I'm going to play for my teammates and my coaches, but I'm not playing for Mr. Jones." You know what I mean? So, right now.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
And they're in contract negotiations. Let's bring that up. And that is always real persnickety. And by that I mean it's prickly on both sides. The player's trying to get the biggest contract they can get for the longest time and the most guarantee. The owner's trying to be more realistic and shut that down. So
I'm gonna
go ahead.
I'm going to go somewhere that may get me in a little bit of trouble. I'm at the point in time in my world where
that you don't care,
and I'm not worried about it. I'll put it this way. First time I ever met Dr. Wendler, president at WT, we were sitting in his office, had about a 2-hour conversation about a lot of things, and he asked me, he said, "Okay, can I ask you where you stand on the Carthel issue?" I said, "Sure." I said, I'm gonna put it to you this way, Dr. Wendler. First off, you need to understand that Don Carthel is one of my dearest friends, and so I want to be totally transparent there.
Yeah.
I said, but let me put it to you this way. I said, who's the president at the University of Alabama? He said, "Jimmy, I don't know." I said, who's the athletic director? "I don't know." I said, who's their football coach? "Well, Nick Saban." And so I would ask you this question. Who's the owner of the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, I don't know right now.
Me either.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue. But I can tell you who their GM is, and he does a great job because they let him do his job. I don't know who the owner is. I don't know who the president of the company is. But Lynch does a great job as the general manager.
Yeah.
And that, in my opinion, is the problem with the Cowboys, is you need to separate ownership from management and let somebody that's a football mind get in there. And I don't have one of those football minds, but I love the game. Let them get in there and do the things that Lynch, and there's several other good GMs around the league, and those that are being successful at it are doing it.
Yeah.
Owners, just count your money.
Well,
because Jerry makes a lot of it, and he's really good at that marketing side of it. Stick to that and get you a football guy in there, and it's not your son either.
Well, I know, and that's what it's going to be, though.
Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm with you. It's become a family affair.
Yep.
That's not a good thing in the NFL unless you are kind of
not with that franchise.
Yeah. And kind of the Rooneys, people like that who are really football people.
The Hunts
more than
they got an Andy Reid.
Yeah, exactly. They let him do his thing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. I was very disappointed. Here's the thing that I've told everybody. I say it on my show all the time. Jerry Jones, for all you hate about him, when he wakes up on NFL Sunday, he wakes up in a flat-out mansion in Highland Park.
Yep.
He walks out his door, Jimmy, gets in a helicopter, and flies to the game.
And flies home when it's over.
And watches his team play in a luxury box, okay? Then when it's over, he goes and gets back in his Escalade, takes the trip across the street to his helicopter, flies home, and then lands on his heliport and goes into his mansion.
Yep.
So he has an amazing life that people don't give him really credit for.
Yeah, and he earned it.
He earned
it.
But
I'm not arguing that point.
But I'm with you. I am with you. I was really disappointed, and that's what came out of his mouth. But I do get it. When you're in that game, that contract is on his mind heavy.
Yep. And
it's not signed yet, so he can't really, because they'll jump on anything that he says great about Micah Parsons. But I'm just telling you right now.
Tell me if I'm wrong here.
Cowboys are lucky they have Brian Schottenheimer as the coach. That's what all the last thing I'm going to say.
And you've stood on it. So tell me if I'm wrong. And I know things change. And there's two sides to every story. I'll throw that out there too. Jones buys the club, hires his buddy and his teammate from Arkansas to come be the head coach. They did pretty well. They go 1-15, and Jerry Jones did not turn that around. Jimmy Johnson did.
Exactly.
Correct? Would you agree?
Yes.
When your ego gets in the way of reality, sometimes it doesn't go well. And in my opinion, that's when Dallas went on its current slide, is because they should have worked out and now if Johnson wanted to leave, that's a whole different story.
Yeah,
and I wasn't there. I don't know all the story.
No way he wanted to leave.
They could have won.
Yeah.
And did. Switzer won one with his players. I mean, they skipped one. They should have won it 3 in a row, but they won it opposite years, alternate years there. But the thing was in place.
Yeah.
You had a football mind tending to dealing with the egos in the locker room. They respected Jimmy Johnson. He was a player's coach, but it was his rules. You played by his rules. And those days, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to be a coach at any level.
Yeah.
Because you're just under the microscope.
Yeah.
But guys like Johnson, guys like John Lynch, people like that can live in that world and
thrive
and weather the pressures of ownership and management and everybody else around them, plus the fans and the players. It's a delicate line to walk. But in my opinion, if you go back, it's that breakup is when Dallas Cowboys changed, because we were so used to Tex Schramm, Tom Landry. That's all you had to deal with. And then for all those years, that's what you dealt with. And the Murchisons.
Yeah.
And then, but you didn't have different owners. You didn't have. I mean, it was just this was the plan. This was the mechanism. And ever since Johnson left, the mechanism has changed over and over and over again.
Yeah. And
the same guy's trying to be the puppet master, and it's not working.
Yeah, no.
He even did it with Parcells. Parcells was as good of a football mind as there was, but he wouldn't let him do his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but it's his team.
You got me on you got me on all my soapboxes today.
That's good. You did great. I just think he needs to be a little more I realize at his age he doesn't care either, but just be a little more respectful of what he puts out there, in my opinion, because – and I'm not even talking about egos. I'm talking about respecting the player.
Those guys are playing their tail ends off for them.
Yeah, yeah. And those are really your two leaders on offense and defense, the showcase players. And you're disrespecting them, and they haven't even taken a snap yet in July. You know what I mean?
Well, here's something I would say. If Jerry Jones was listening today, here's what I'd tell you. Social media has taken care of all of the criticism for you. You don't even have to worry about doing it.
Right.
Social media will take care of all the criticism for you, and they'll tell you exactly how everything ought to run, just like we're doing right now.
And the players, yeah.
You take care of your players.
Yeah, yeah.
You take care of your coaches. You take care of your program, and let all of us naysayers out here do our job, and because we don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say this, some players take that and say, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
You just disrespect me. I'm going to show you. And I think you have two players in Micah Parsons and Dak, if they stay, who want to show him, look, we're the real deal. So
Parsons is as good as there is.
Yeah.
At that position.
Oh yeah,
I think he's as good as anybody in the league. And so,
Yeah.
You don't want to lose somebody like that.
You know, and we learned, and we came to Amarillo this summer. We learned over at River Road, you know, he can be a really great guy too. I mean, rather than sign autographs and worry about all the parent, he was playing with the kids, playing pickup games with the kids. I mean, who does that? You know, and that's because he enjoys what he does right now. So,
well, it's like Scheffler. Most of those guys are still in their 20s.
Yeah,
they're still kids.
They're still kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, you Cowboys who knows? Maybe Dak will lead them to the finally. Somewhere.
You look. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath.
All right. So, anything else?
No, great job today. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
good to see you.
Good to see you.
We took a little break. We've been off for a couple of weeks. Maddie, thank you again for getting us back in the room. But every now and then you got to take a break, and everybody's had a break.
And we'll get some guests in here. We've got a few lined up. Yep. By the way, I got Cody Campbell on my radio show next week. What question would you ask the billionaire who has changed the NIL world for Texas Tech?
That's crazy stuff, man. My buddy that I played golf with this week is a Tech grad and biggest Tech fan I know, besides my partner's wife. And Amy Daughters is the biggest Tech fan I know. But Dawn's a big one. And, you know, I hope this all works out good for Tech, because I'm a believer that anything good for Tech is good for the Panhandle in this region. And we sit out here kind of by ourselves.
Yeah, we sure do.
You know, and so anything that can be successful 105 miles or however far down the road it is, that's of benefit to us, and there's residual effects to that. And so I hope it has good results for them, because I just believe it's good for the region.
No Texas, no Oklahoma on the schedule. I'm predicting 11-1 for Texas Tech.
Golly, wow.
I know, and that's not even putting added pressure on them.
Yeah,
we'll see if Joey McGuire can step up to the plate and coach a team of.
That's where the pressure's at.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. He's got the talent.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does. So, all right, we'll talk on that more as the podcast moves on. But we cannot thank you enough for joining us today. And if you see us around, you want a guest we haven't thought of, we would love to hear that from you. So have a great week, Jimmy.
You too. Thanks for being here.
All right, let's hop out of here. This was the Fieldhouse Podcast. And just a reminder, it is a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network, and we will see you when we see you.